I want to be so upset and I can't because I'm more worried about getting arrested and putting away for murder that I didn't commit.
Everybody put your hands out of the vehicle now!
The Football Player and the Cheerleader is a modern-day fairy tale. Two beautiful, popular people in the prime of their lives, full of love for one another and dreams for the future. That's what Emma Walker thought she had, but her fairy tale romance turned into a nightmare. November 21st, 2016 was a Monday. The night before, Emma Walker asked her mom to wake her up around 6 a.m. so she could wash her hair before school. When Emma's mom tried to wake her daughter that morning, she wasn't expecting a challenge, since it was usually pretty easy to wake her up in the morning. But when Emma was totally unresponsive, her mom realized something was seriously wrong and called 911. Emma was dead. In his dorm room at Maryville College, Emma's ex-boyfriend Riley Gall was getting ready to hide the gun he murdered her with. Like most 16-year-old girls, Emma was full of life, ambitious, and excited for the future. She always worked really hard to keep her grades up, knowing she needed to get the best grades possible to become a vet or a neonatal nurse. One of her greatest passions was cheerleading, which she'd loved since she joined her high school squad when she was 14. According to her fellow squad members, Emma took cheer super seriously and loved to lead the squad. It was through cheer that Emma would meet William Riley Gall, a star player on the football team Emma cheered for. Riley was a junior when he met Emma, and she caught his eyes straight away. Like Emma, he worked hard to keep his grades high, and friends described him as a jokester. A little nerdy, not the classic jock type. To anybody looking in, Riley looked like a totally normal guy. Despite their 2-year age difference, Emma's parents said they had a positive first impression of him. Her mom described him as a boy next door. He came in very polite, very nice in the beginning. He was very likable, she said. But it only took a few months before the couple started having issues and would be on and off until Emma ended it for good. Riley wasn't the sweet, polite boy he'd made himself out to be to Emma's parents, who were the first to realize Riley wasn't the right guy for their daughter. Since she was only 14 when she started dating 16-year-old Riley, Emma's parents frequently read their daughter's texts and messages on social media, just to make sure things between them stayed PG. This also meant they got all the juicy details of their latest drama, such as Riley going back and forth between Emma and one of his ex-girlfriends. Even though Riley wasn't exactly the faithful type, he was super possessive of Emma, and this didn't sit right with her friends or family. According to her friends, Riley didn't want Emma to hang out with anyone besides him and became really controlling over her, trying to stop her from doing certain activities, commenting on her outfits, even hanging out outside the grocery store where she worked for literal hours. Despite all of this, Emma had totally fallen for Riley, and from looking at her social media accounts, you'd never know anything was wrong. You can still see her Twitter account and all of her tweets, including the ones about her and Riley when they were together. Emma's parents were getting more and more worried about the direction their relationship was heading in. They knew they had to take extreme actions to keep Emma and Riley apart after one disturbing message he sent to her. "You're dead to me. I'll check the obituary. F you." Riley was officially banned from the Walker household, and Emma had her phone taken away so she wouldn't be able to contact Riley. But of course, that wasn't enough to keep him away. He bought Emma an iPod Touch that she was able to text him through by using her Wi-Fi. When Riley graduated, Emma's parents were hopeful that some distance between them would make Emma see all of Riley's red flags so she would finally break up with him. Their wish finally came true. At the beginning of November 2016, Emma ended their relationship for good after being grounded by her parents. She wasn't allowed out anywhere except school and cheerleading, and her parents always knew where she was. This might sound a little extra, but it worked. Her parents said Emma finally started to become herself again. She stopped hiding away in her room and enjoyed socializing with people other than Riley again. They thought it was all done when she texted a friend that she and Riley were done for good, but he wasn't prepared to let her go so easily. Riley did not take the breakup well, and he did some really bizarre things to try to win Emma back, including staging his own kidnapping. Emma was at a party celebrating a football game victory when she started to get some weird text messages from Riley's phone. The text told Emma to go to her car alone and that they had someone she loved. If she didn't follow their instructions, then Riley would get hurt. Emma was really freaked out by this and showed her friend Zach the messages she was receiving. He followed her outside but said they couldn't see anyone around, but it was obvious someone was nearby, because as soon as Emma stepped outside with Zach, she got another text that said, "What part of alone?" wasn't clear. Nobody was convinced by the texts. lies. Another one of Emma's friends said she knew straight away it was probably made up, and he'd exhibited this kind of behavior before. The texter told Emma not to call the cops, and if she did, they would kill Riley. Since she was pretty convinced this was bogus, Emma gathered a group of her friends and they all left the party to see if they could find who was texting her. What they found was even weirder. We see a figure laying down on the ground, face down, like covering his face, her friend Zach said. The figure, of course, turned out to be Riley. When confronted about what the heck was going on, Riley claimed he'd been kidnapped but couldn't remember a thing because they hit him over the head. Except one of the kidnappers kept saying, "Call Emma." Totally unconvinced by his performance, Emma told Riley, "We just broke up. Leave me alone." On his way home, Riley started texting Haley, one of Emma's friends, and said, "I have no idea what happened. I literally woke up in her yard. I could have been killed, and Emma didn't even give a damn." Riley later admitted that the kidnapping was fake and he did it as an attempt to win Emma back. But there's another incident he still denies, one that the family and friends call the man in black. The very next day, Emma was home alone. She looked out of a window and saw a man dressed head to toe in black clothing coming towards her house. Terrified, the first person Emma thought to call was Riley. She sent him a text that said, "I hate you, but I need you right now." Riley told her he was speeding over there. Once again, Emma's friends were suspicious of the whole situation. Haley claims she saw Riley's car parked at a nearby swimming pool. When she asked him what he was doing there, he denied it was him. When she heard about the man in black, she knew straight away who it was. That day, Emma was meant to meet up with her mom, who got worried when her daughter never showed. When she drove back to the house to see if Emma was home, she was shocked to find Riley sitting with her daughter in the front yard. After telling Riley to get off her property, she got the full story from Emma. Like Haley, she was suspicious. I said to Emma, "Don't you find it odd that Riley was involved or appeared at both events?" She said, "No, it wasn't him, Mom. It wasn't him." Still shaken up by what happened, Emma's parents chaperoned her to and from work the next day to make sure she was safe, concerned that she may have a stalker after the events of the weekend. By Sunday evening, things seemed to be getting back to normal, and Emma was reportedly more calm and relaxed since nothing else unusual happened to her that day. But this was about to change. That night, Emma texted her friend asking about a homework assignment, then went to bed just after midnight. The next morning was Monday, November 21st, and Emma would never wake up. When emergency services arrived at the house, Emma had already been gone for hours, and it became clear quickly what killed her. The investigators noticed bullet holes in the walls of her bedroom. When they examined Emma, they saw that she had been shot just behind her ear and had died from her injuries straight away. Her family was shocked that someone had fired into their home and no one had been alerted to it. Emma's dad remembered waking up during the night because of a loud bang, but he thought it was hearing a door slam. The crime scene indicated that a 9mm handgun had been shot into Emma's bedroom twice, one shot hitting her and the other landing in her pillow. Emma's death became a murder investigation, and it didn't take long for them to come up with a key suspect. Everybody kept giving us the name Riley Gall, said the sheriff's lieutenant, Alan Merritt. As Emma's murder was being investigated, Riley took to social media to share how heartbroken he was to hear of Emma's passing, even changing his Twitter bio to say, "Living every day through Emma Walker. I love you, beautiful, and I know you're in a better place now." But it didn't take long before the police started gathering evidence against Riley, as he'd built up a pretty big reputation, and a lot of people believed this was something he was capable of, even his own friends. Riley's college roommate Stanley testified that hours before the shooting, Riley asked him how to remove fingerprints from a gun. When the news came that Emma had passed away, he told Stanley not to talk to the police about it. Stanley wasn't the only one with his suspicions. Alex McCarty and Noah Walton, two of Riley's close friends, had been worried about Riley since his breakup with Emma and the odd behavior that followed. When they heard Emma had been shot in her sleep, they went to the police straight away and admitted that Riley had told them a secret the day after he staged the kidnapping. He ended up telling me that he was so fearful for his life that he had stolen his grandfather's gun and showed it to me. He was just so scared of these people who were out to get him. Were out to get Emma. But that wasn't all. Riley had also asked them how to remove fingerprints from a gun, and this really scared Alex and Noah. Riley claimed he had asked them because his roommate wanted to know, but with what had happened, they knew it probably wasn't the truth. He later claimed he'd returned the gun to his grandfather. Since Riley clearly trusted these two friends with his secrets, the police asked them to try and record him confessing to Emma's murder. They agreed, and with secret microphones attached to them, Alex and Noah tried to get Riley to confess. In the recordings, Riley doesn't fully admit to the murder, but he does admit to stealing the gun, and a lot of things he said made him appear guilty enough that he was charged with Emma's murder.
I'm trusting you guys, like, with my life, because, I mean, this is 70 years in jail if I get convicted of something I didn't do.
He then told them he needed their help to get rid of the gun, which he hadn't actually given back to his grandfather as he'd told them before. He wanted to go out to a place called the Bluffs, which overlooks the Tennessee River. He told them his plan was to throw the gun into the river, which was so big that law enforcement would never find it. As soon as they arrived at the Bluffs, Riley showed his friends he still had the gun, and he was arrested straight away. Riley admitted to firing the shots into Emma's room, but claims he never meant to kill her. He claimed that he just wanted to scare her so she would run back into his arms, just as she'd done the day before when she was scared by the mysterious man in black. In May of 2017, Riley was found guilty of first-degree murder, stalking, reckless endangerment, theft, tampering with evidence, and possession of a firearm. He won't be eligible for parole for 47 years when he's 71. This case is one of the scariest I've come across. It's awful that people will go this far to try and win someone back they claim to love, but they just end up hurting them. At least Emma got justice for what Riley did to her, and he won't be able to hurt anyone else like this again. What do you guys think of this case? Do you really think Riley was just trying to scare Emma, or did he want her dead? I can't wait to read your comments down below. Thanks so much for watching, you guys. Don't forget to like and subscribe to stay up to date with all the future videos. Bye!